Hey anyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Abhi on Camera, where today we're watching episode 10, the finale of the Sandman. Honestly though, I'm wondering if my finale curse is going to strike in this video, because it's the finale of the season, but it isn't the last episode I'm going to record, thanks to that surprise bonus episode. But most of you don't even know what I'm talking about, so I'm not going to waste too much time. Last episode ended off with Rose and Jed being captured by the Corinthian. Desire is nowhere to be seen, but they're probably going to do something. They're on the thumbnail of the episode. And Morpheus seems to have only one option, and that's to kill Rose, which I don't think he wants to do, but I don't know. Let's just find out what's going to happen. Chapter 10, Lost Hearts.
I'm not going to hurt you.
You just killed that man.
I just saved your life. Again. And I'm trying to save yours.
From whom?
From Morpheus.
Oh shoot, if Corinthian says, oh, I'm here to help you, not use you, then he's gonna actually get her on his side, considering how pissed she is at him, at Morpheus.
Protected you, kept him from killing you.
That's cute.
Well, then
but here's the thing. Corinthian doesn't have the power to protect you. He wants to use you to kill Morpheus.
I would be free.
No.
Smart choice. I mean, seriously, just going your own way.
I'll knock. If you want, you can let me in.
Are you serious?
If
Don't
not,
believe
I'll go
him. He's the one who booked these rooms. He can ask for another card. He can say, oh, I lost mine. He...
It's just too good to pass up.
Oh no, she's nodding. What's gonna happen?
You were special people.
He wanted this to happen. He wanted all these demented ass monsters here.
We are the American dreamers. Driving down the holy road.
All right. Somebody put a comment about somebody. I'm sorry, Nayan. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Put a comment. It's like about how all these collectors are like making fun of how American culture kind of glorifies serial killers because we make them like the big shiny villains and all that.
Do not murder for profit.
This is doing the same thing, but parody.
We kill.
Last episode is one thing, but this episode makes that very much clear with this speech. Oh, hi, Morpheus.
And kings of the night.
Can you do something, please? Can't you take down Corinthian yourself?
Send me back into their dreams?
No, he can shadowify you, right?
Won't go willingly.
Ooh, a knife.
A knife against a dream.
Unless he's powered up by their nightmares.
Dreams can die.
Or something.
Let's find out.
Enough.
Yep, he's powered up somehow. Oh, Rose is stealing his power. She didn't wake up at all. She did wake up, but because it's dream walking, all that stuff.
Not him. This is your dream.
It's his
Shite. I got the angel and devil on their shoulder thing. And it's actually quite interesting that despite that metaphor of the two on their shoulders, Dream is wearing the black and Corinthian is wearing white.
He's right next to you.
Everything and everyone will die.
Yes! That's what I told you to tell them in the last episode, so she wouldn't get pissed off.
Universe was lost.
But you didn't! Why couldn't you say that last episode?
Killing me may save your life.
Then I will find my own way.
I'm with her.
The walls go back up.
Good. I'm with her. I like option 3 because I don't want a main character to die.
Because I'm not dreaming anymore.
You only care about yourself.
Are there teeth in his eyes?
Rules.
I contain the entire.
I thought he just had no
unconscious.
eyeballs.
Without my
Are there
rules,
teeth in
it
there?
would consume me. This was my fault, not yours.
Good. Nice self-realization.
I had so much hope for you, but I created you poorly then.
The sadness
So I must
Corinthian is showing on his face, despite without eyeballs, just like a disapproving parent. Oh my god, the teeth are it's so much weirder than just no eyeballs. What is that? Oh, it's a tiny skull. Okay. Well,
The dream is over.
well, there you go, right? These are all
I
people
have taken it away.
psychotic.
For this
So if
is
you
my
confront them with
judgment upon
morality
you,
and the horror that they just
that
cannot
you
feel,
shall know, and monstrous you are.
this whole thing.
That you
Yeah, I'm a
shall
Marvel fan.
feel
Sue me.
the
The whole thing
pain
reminds me of like
of
the
those
Ghost
you
Rider's
have
penance
slaughtered.
stare, right? Makes everyone suddenly feel like the consequences and the horror of all the actions that they've done that they haven't been able to do before.
And the grief.
She passed away a few months ago.
Finally escaped
You
from the
have to know
terrible
that
parents. All this
she
trauma
never
happens and you
stopped
can't even go
trying
back
to
to your
get you
mom.
back.
I'm in labor.
Oh my god.
I mean, you sound very nice for someone who's in labor
We're taking good care of her road.
or going to be in labor.
Concerning God
I was
in
thinking
difficult times.
about the grandma,
Very
how
number
she just
of
became
footprints in the
pregnant,
sand.
a little bit like Lyda
She
is
told
now.
it to me once, and it
And I'm wondering,
cheered me up remarkably.
is she also a vortex or was a vortex?
Are you Rose?
Because this magical father probably desire,
Sorry to put this
is that
on you right
powerful enough to,
Don't be.
I don't know.
Then you have the power to destroy him.
Oh wow, that's
now. I
stupid.
don't want to destroy him. I don't want any of this.
Did you not hear what she said about the end of the
I'm afraid
world?
to fall asleep. I'm afraid to wake up.
He should be afraid.
No, don't listen to her.
When you go to sleep tonight.
Oh, she wants vengeance because what happened with Hector.
And
Don't listen to her. Fine, find a third option, but
You're in charge now. You're the vortex.
no, that's stupid. No. What needs to happen right now is that Dream needs to figure out how to, have better human social skills. Because that's the only way he's gonna get through this. Okay. This is a much better version of the Dream, because he's got both of himself on stage. Is that it's acceptance of both sides.
None of those. Something is happening, my princess. Look.
Something is happening, my princess. Oh, now that's a vortex. We've been saying Dream Vortex all that time, and that's a vortex. Yeah, Rose. Well, I really hope they're not dead. No, not you. No, please. Okay, now they can't die, right? Because, Morpheus. They can't die, right? Because it's not gonna kill Jed. I mean, this show could kill Jed. I don't know. She's in there. Was I right 2 seconds ago about her being the real vortex?
Yes, please. I'm looking for a book. We have every book ever written.
Well, no,
As well as
this
those
is the
that-
dreaming, so of course she's gonna be in there. But
I'm looking for the story of my life. How do you know Rose?
she's a big problem. Big problem. Lucienne, she could be helpful. This is being oddly coincidental right here.
Death is not always such a bad thing.
I love the
stay
energy
here,
you can see vibrating everything around her,
My raven was
warping
watching
the very space around her body.
Wait! A life which I humbly offer in exchange for yours.
Is that even possible? Can you swap?
I'm afraid that's not possible.
Well, there you
The
go.
dreaming and the waking world to live, the vortex must die.
Then what's the point of a vortex?
There's no point. It's an accident.
Why do we even exist?
To abandon my role.
So he really is. It's not a physical thing. He actually is the heart of the
My
dreaming.
dear, Fiddler's Green is not a who, it is a where.
I knew it
I
sounded
was
like a location.
Not a person privilege being human with you.
Well, you were a really nice character. Oh, now that's an effect. That's an amazing effect. Like, that's so cool. With that, color is restored. No longer white, but a huge. Oh, it's amazing. It's awesome. What a moment. Words. I don't have them. Look at her. She's not warping anything anymore.
Take your life.
Wait, Lucienne has the great grandmother. Maybe there's a loophole here. Wait a second.
I don't understand.
You're not very bright, are you?
Oh, insulting him.
Come here, Rose.
She's saying she's the
I
real
want you to reach
vortex,
down inside
and so she can
and
take
give
it
me
back.
Whatever it is that makes you the vortex.
But how?
It's dreaming.
You're dreaming, darling.
You've been controlling this nonsense with your hands. So just be like, ooh, here you go, take it. Yeah, that's literally what I did. I think I did it under the camera though, so you can see it. No. Glowy heartstone.
Rose love.
I mean, so you can't just destroy that heart instead of the
I'm
her.
Vortex now, Dream King.
Alright.
Unity.
I'm okay with this.
Oh,
I know I said
What
don't kill her,
happens?
but at least this is a self-sacrifice. Right? So it's much better than Corinthian just stabbing.
never have met my golden-eyed man. And we would never have had
the
our
panic.
beautiful baby girl, and you would not
The
have been
Dream's
born.
eyes are showing some panic.
The father of your child had golden eyes.
I've never seen anything like them.
I was right!
I have.
But again, Desire isn't
Mr.
here.
Holdaway will see
What?
to it that you and Jen
Yes,
have
we know the
everything.
Desire was the great-grandfather, but what is their goal in doing this?
You and your brother are children of the Endless.
I'm technically your
You may
great-uncle.
leave this place. Goodbye, Rose.
Well, sorry, Jed. That great-grandmother is gone, but she probably amended her will at this point. So, we're not gonna be in a bad place. What's the name?
My turn.
Tell me their name!
He's pretty. We'll buy the house.
No, that's chill. That's great. Like, I want to leave, but we want to still live here, so we'll take the house. Thank you. Oh, so they all have one of these walls? Oh, so you can summon people through these little thingamajigs. And that heart is exactly the same as that vortex.
You know you're always welcome in my chamber.
I didn't expect Desire to be in, like, cat form. That's for sure.
You covered your tracks remarkably well.
Yeah, you just maybe should have changed your eye color, and then this would have been
Did
fine.
you truly intend that I should spill family blood? With all that would entail?
Oh, that's the plan. All right.
Time.
Killing family is a bad thing for these beings.
I'm not their masters.
I mean, the thing about desire as an emotion, though, it is kind of controls people.
We do not manipulate them.
You say that.
Manipulate us.
No, but
And you.
it's desire.
And despair.
It kind of does the opposite.
Or delirium would do well.
Delirium. There's a delirium. Okay, so he's pretty sure death's on his side. I want to meet these other siblings. I always love when they tease siblings. I want to meet them all. It's such a cool, like,
Remember
to
that
see
next
the various
time you
ones.
conspired
Like
to interfere
Lucifer
in my
again.
affairs.
All their different shapes.
I'll drop that.
I hope so. I expected to see a villain from you, but you just kind of sat in this throne room and said a few things. Hopefully this gets a season 2, and hopefully we get more from you, because you have a cool... Damn, that's awesome.
Dinner's here.
Well, it's nice that they're all just together. It's this, like, extended family. Oh, I mean, you just got lucked out there. Is the dream gonna be gold reborn? Because that color reminds me of it.
You not wish to say hello?
Ah, I was right. It's gold, and now she's got butterfly wings.
So did you.
That's character
Now
growth.
I'm listening. More.
Trying to. Good. And admitting the flaws. Oh man, he's grown much as a character, and I really enjoy him as a character.
New nightmares.
I gotta say, the floating torso of wires is probably the coolest looking one out of all the ones standing there. There's also a giant face in the ocean, which is cool.
Would you mind taking care of things while I work?
Would you mind if I officially acknowledge you as my number 2 rather than you doing all my work for me? This hell? Looks like hell. Oh, hi, Maze. How's it going? Azazel? Oh, that is awesome. That looks so cool. I mean, it's a tad cartoonish, but so Lucifer's not leaving yet, but you're gonna attack first. I don't think Lucifer actually wanted to do that.
He's not to be trusted.
Oh, really? The big space-time vortex with a bunch of faces is not to be trusted. Never would have guessed.
What are you going to do?
Look, there's one thing I want to know about the story, and all it's that Lucifer leaves hell.
Something that I have never done before.
And that was the finale of episode 1, Lost Hearts. Just a warning if you haven't watched my trailer before, on a finale episode, I tend to just go on and on and on, just kind of spewing out every last thought I have about a show and all the episodes. So, this is going to be a bit long. First thing we want to talk about is just this episode in particular. First half episode, second half, just kind of like an epilogue. Well, not half. We did get a solid epilogue section in there. And in the end, right, this isn't a big action story. I never expected it. You guys are getting on my case about that whole Dream versus Lucifer battle, and well, about that battle, and I get that. I get the symbolism. I get the whole cosmic beings don't punch each other. I get all that. I just can't help what I feel. I've been around kids. It sounded like a kid's argument to me. But that's not the point. But I still didn't expect the Corinthian to go down so easily. Like, yes, he said this or that. He did actually manage to get one stab in on Morpheus. But I expected him to try more. I expected him to have maybe manipulated Rose to his side. Actually, no, that's the second part. That's what I really expected. I expected him to be using Rose more than he did. More than just, he's gonna kill you. Go do something. At the end of the day, I don't mind. This character was really interesting to go watch through the entire time. This villain of, like, this is a guy, not a guy, he's a nightmare who's, again, this is a nightmare who wants to be more, the same way as Galt, but he wants that taste of humanity, but he doesn't really understand it. He doesn't understand what he's doing, and he hides behind the idea that it's his purpose. It's exactly the same as all those collectors, right? They hide behind the facade of what they think they are doing, and this purpose they have given themselves. Whatever that may be, there's a whole bunch of them, so they probably have different random ideas, but they hide behind that. The reality of the situation doesn't match. And that scene where all of them, suddenly had to get confronted with all the feelings they couldn't feel before, all the empathy, all the sadness, just like the actual horror of what they've done flooding into their minds. Yeah. I think the hotel is certainly going to get in trouble, as a lot of people are not making it out of their parking lot. Let's put it that way. As for Rose and the Unity thing, I'm kind of happy that I figured it out a little bit early, like a few minutes early, because Desire didn't show up. If Desire had showed up, I wouldn't have thought of the idea, but Desire didn't show up. Why Unity? What's up with her? How did she do this? And it's like, well, there you go. She was supposed to be the Vortex. And she now provides a loophole to allow Rose to live on, and a woman who has had, I should say, is probably not going to live very long anyway, to die on her own terms as a self-sacrifice. I thought that was cool. I do miss the fact that Desire wasn't a larger villain in their own right, but hopefully that'll be answered by later stories. The idea that Fiddler's Green was an actual landscape taken human form was immensely cool. Look, I'm actually very well spoken normally, but when I sit in front of this camera, my vocabulary just like, bye. But it was so interesting, this idea that even like there's somewhat sentience in a location. A location in the dreaming was like, well, Morpheus isn't around to watch anymore. I'm curious to see what a human's life is like. The imagery of seeing them like dissolve into leaves and butterflies and seeing that flow around the landscape becoming a verdant, lush place was super cool. All in all, it was a solid finale for this kind of arc. I'll call it an arc because this is a TV show. This arc of the story. And the epilogue made it a good finale for the entire season as a whole. Because we got to see Dream growing throughout the whole season. And we got to see a little tease for next season. Let's just move on to talking about the whole series as a whole. There's essentially 2 sub-seasons going on here. And I understand. As soon as we got to that next setup point, I realized that this is what we're doing. I've seen shows like this before. I've seen Netflix shows like this before, right? Where they kind of tell 2 stories. And there's one thing that I'm somewhat wondering, is that every time I've seen this happen with Netflix, the later seasons end up being shorter, as they only release episodes enough for one story block as their own season. So I'm wondering if that might happen with Sandman 2, if it gets continued. The first episode, let's just start from the beginning and talk about the show. The first episode, it wasn't good for a TV show. Yes, they followed the book, but that wasn't a good opening for a show. People aren't hooked by anything that happened there. And I told others online too. I told other people who were like, I didn't like this after watching the first episode. It's like, this isn't a hook, right? It's very clear that the trailer at the end is telling you there's an exciting show behind this, but you need this exposition to go into that. And that's the point. But despite that, it was still really interesting to come into this very different world and, Dream how he's turned from essentially a very pale figure staring out of a glass bowl to this slightly warmer god who's on the way to admitting his mistakes and growing as a person. It's a very nice character arc to see. Honestly, I'm the guy who likes spending more time with the main character, so that was one of the little touches of the show that I could have done more with just Morpheus. Like, can we please spend some time with him? He's the titular character. But we tend to, like, go off topic to be like, oh, what's up, Luciano? You're a human now. What are you doing? But whatever. At the end of the day, the whole story is quite good. The first part where he's getting all his stuff back, I genuinely thought that was something that was going to be the whole season. I didn't expect it to be finished so fast. That's why I thought the first episodes felt fast, right? Because I didn't think they were doing this half and half storyline thing. The first story, honestly, it was good, right? We got in this quest, we got to meet a Constantine, but I think I preferred the second half story more, because the first half there's a lot of setting up. It's like, hey, there's a dream, there's your god, you gotta have this power, you have that power, you gotta retrieve your stuff. But it was good, I just didn't exactly take to it as much as the second one. And we got to see hell and everything. Lots of cool cosmic stuff, but less good character story as much as I got in the second half. And I think the best part was that the episode in the diner, right, where everything slowly like devolves into chaos because of the truth, that is a really spectacular episode. It's just a story you wouldn't see in many other things. This kind of like trapped in a box thing. Or at least it's not a story I've seen very many times. I said this again, but again, this is a rambling thing. The second half story was great because the character work was just so much better with that first episode. I think episode 6, 5 and 6 they're holding my top 2 spots right now in terms of this entire first season. And episode 6, with its first half with death and questioning what is your purpose as a sentient function of the universe. A function. You're supposed to do one thing, but for some reason you're sentient, which is just a weird idea. Just can you imagine if a cog in a machine was alive? That's a weird thing when your entire life is only meant to do one thing. It's like, how do you cope with that? It's a very interesting character study on these gods and like, how do we deal with this? And death was a great way to, show this, because she may have the dirtiest job of all the D siblings. And the second half too was just with the immortal. Like, you have the god meeting the immortal and just growing a friendship among meetings every 100 years. They're not spending a ton of time together, right? We see the pretty much most of their time together, but still, just meeting up again, seeing this, an immortal who has a thirst for life that I've never seen in any story. 99% of story immortals are like, in some way, shape, or form, tired with their lives. But Hobgatling is just like a wellspring of positivity. Honestly, I could go on, but this is a reaction. You've heard what I've thought about every episode so far. The end of the day, this was a show I picked up by chance. Just because I felt like it, I'm like, why the hell not? But this is easily one of my favorite fantasy shows because what it does in this genre is so unique compared to a lot of others. Now, don't get me wrong. I am very easy to please, right? And a lot of those other fantasy stories, they may be cut and paste, but I'll happily sit and watch through them too. But when you have something interesting and unique, man, it's such a joy to watch. And yeah, fine, it may not have gotten the biggest audience, but I got a few people to come back and leave me comments and get mad at me for thinking a fight was weird. In short, I genuinely enjoyed The Sandman as this Netflix show, this adaptation. I've enjoyed it so much, and I'm happy to have been watching it. Hopefully it comes back for a season 2 that we can all enjoy together. But first, there's that bonus episode that I will react to. Thank you so much for watching. Genuinely, every one of you that has come back, I can't thank you enough, because every comment you leave, just a like, just then as that number ticks up, I'm not a madman looking into a camera. So thank you so much. I truly hope you enjoyed this reaction and the rest of the reactions. And maybe you'll consider sticking around and watching other shows with me. Over here is the next reaction, whenever that comes out. Over here is a playlist of my videos, and on my face is the subscribe button. Like, comment, subscribe, criticize even. I don't mind. See ya.